Welcome back to another episode of the Rise Up podcast, the place where we learn to grow stronger, face life's toughest challenges, and unlock our fullest potential. In today's episode, we dive into the theme of personal growth with not just one, but two powerful speeches. Embracing Life's Complexities, a journey to personal growth, and its follow-up, Part 2. These speeches will guide us through how to face challenges, grow through setbacks, and find strength in the most difficult moments of life. Whether you're pushing through a tough time, navigating uncertainty, or seeking motivation to keep going, this episode will remind you that growth often comes from the hardest battles. And don't forget, for those who need it, we've got a full PDF transcript available to make it easier to follow along. Just check the link in the show notes. Now let's get ready to rise up and embrace life's complexities together. Life often feels like an unpredictable journey, full of twists, turns, and moments when we feel completely lost. It's during these challenging times when we face roadblocks and struggles that we grow the most. In fact, the moments of confusion and frustration are often the best indicators that we are on the verge of something transformative. So, what does it mean when everything feels overwhelming? It means you're alive, and you're growing. We live in a world that constantly throws challenges our way. From personal relationships that don't go as planned, to careers that take unexpected detours. These challenges can make us feel like we're losing control. But the truth is, they are the very things that shape us into the people we're meant to become. Consider this. Every time you felt like giving up, you've chosen to keep going. That choice is a testament to your strength, even if it doesn't feel that way in the moment. It's easy to forget that resilience isn't about never facing hardships. It's about facing those hardships and choosing to rise above them. Sometimes, the pressure to succeed, to always know the next step, or to avoid failure can make life feel unbearable. But failure is not the enemy, and failure is often the best teacher we could ask for. Each time we fall short, we're given a unique opportunity to learn something new about ourselves, our strengths, our weaknesses, and our potential. The world may push you down, but you have the power to get back up. That's resilience. Now let's talk about fear. Fear can be paralyzing, and if we're not careful, it can stop us from even trying. But fear is also a compass. It points us toward the areas in our lives where we have the most room to grow. If something scares you, it's likely because it matters to you. Think of fear as a signal, not a barrier. It's your mind and body telling you that the path ahead is important and that it's worth taking the risk. So what if we changed the way we viewed fear? Instead of running from it, we could use it as fuel. We could choose to face our fears head-on, knowing that on the other side of that fear lies growth. It's not easy, but the things that matter most in life rarely are. The more we push ourselves outside of our comfort zones, the more we realize just how much we're capable of. Think about the last time you felt like a failure. Maybe you didn't get the job you wanted, or a relationship didn't work out. Maybe you set a goal, and for one reason or another, you didn't achieve it. It's moments like these that can make us feel like giving up is the only option. But what if, instead of focusing on the failure itself, we focused on what we gained from the experience? Maybe you learned a valuable lesson. Maybe you realized something about yourself that you hadn't noticed before. Each setback is an opportunity to recalibrate, to rethink our approach, and to come back stronger. We often look at success as a straight line, but in reality, it's much more like a winding path. There are highs and lows, twists and turns, but as long as you keep moving forward, you're progressing. The truth is, growth happens in those difficult moments. When things are easy, we tend to coast through life without much reflection. But when we're forced to confront our challenges, we are also forced to think deeply about who we are and what we want out of life. It's in the struggle that we find our strength. It's in the moments of doubt that we discover just how resilient we truly are. This is where the power of persistence comes in. Life won't always go according to plan. Often it takes us in directions we never anticipated. But every step you take, even the missteps, bring you closer to where you need to be. The key is to keep moving, even when the road is tough. Think of life like a mountain climb. Sometimes the path is steep, rocky, and full of obstacles that make you want to turn back. But as you continue to climb, you gain a better perspective. From each new height, you can look back and see how far you've come. You realize that the struggles weren't setbacks, they were stepping stones. They were the challenges that made you stronger, the ones that built the muscles of resilience and persistence. And then there's the view from the top. It's breathtaking, not because of how easy the climb was, but because of how hard you worked to get there. That's what makes it all worth it. You'll be able to stand at the summit of your journey and look back, not with regret, but with pride. Pride in the fact that you faced every challenge, overcame every obstacle, and kept moving forward. But here's the thing about life. There will always be new mountains to climb. That's the beauty of it. Just when you think you've reached the top, another challenge presents itself. And that's okay, because with each new challenge comes new growth, new opportunities, and new ways to discover what you're truly capable of. So don't shy away from the hard times. Don't let fear, failure, or setbacks stop you from pursuing your dreams. Embrace the challenges, knowing that they are shaping you into the person you're meant to be. Growth isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. As you move forward in your journey, remember that every step, no matter how small, is progress. You are not defined by your failures or by the challenges you face. You are defined by how you choose to respond to them. So choose resilience. Choose to keep climbing, to keep pushing, and to keep believing in yourself. Your future is bright, and you have the strength to overcome anything life throws your way. Embracing Life's Complexities, A Journey to Personal Growth, Part 2. As we continue to reflect on life's complexities, it's important to recognize that growth is not linear. There will be moments of immense progress and times when it feels like we're taking steps backward. But even in the moments of retreat, there is value. Sometimes, stepping back allows us to gain perspective, to recharge, and to approach challenges with renewed strength. Think of these pauses not as failures, but as essential breaks in the journey. Imagine a runner who sprints continuously without rest. Eventually, they burn out. Life works much the same way. We need moments of stillness to process the lessons we've learned, to catch our breath, and to reflect on where we want to go next. These moments of quiet are not wasted time. They are where the real growth happens. Now, let's talk about perseverance. It's easy to keep moving when things are going well, but it's during the hard times that perseverance truly matters. When life throws us curveballs, when things don't go according to plan, that's when our inner strength is tested. It's easy to give up, to decide that the obstacles are too big. But those who persevere find that the reward is even greater than they imagined. Perseverance is about pushing through the discomfort, the doubt, and the fear. It's about waking up every day and choosing to try again, even when the odds seem stacked against you. It's in these moments that we find out what we're truly made of. It's in these moments that we discover our capacity for greatness. But as we push ourselves to persevere, it's equally important to practice self-compassion. We live in a world that celebrates hustle and achievement, but we rarely take the time to celebrate our efforts. It's easy to be hard on ourselves when things don't go perfectly, but self-compassion reminds us that we are human. We are allowed to make mistakes. We are allowed to take breaks. We are allowed to struggle. Self-compassion doesn't mean lowering our standards. It means recognizing that the journey to success is filled with challenges, and it's okay if we don't get everything right on the first try. It means treating ourselves with kindness, the way we would treat a friend who is going through a tough time. So the next time you feel like you've fallen short, remind yourself that you're doing your best, and that is more than enough. Another crucial aspect of personal growth is recognizing the importance of community. We often think of success as a solo endeavor, but the truth is, we rarely achieve greatness on our own. Whether it's the support of family, friends, or mentors, the people in our lives play a vital role in our growth. Surround yourself with those who believe in you, who encourage you, and who challenge you to be the best version of yourself. We don't have to go through life's challenges alone. Asking for help, leaning on others, and offering support in return is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It's a recognition that we are all connected, and that together we can achieve far more than we ever could on our own. So when life feels tough, remember that you don't have to carry the weight by yourself. Reach out, seek support, and build a community of people who lift you up. At the end of the day, personal growth is not about achieving perfection. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, one step at a time. It's about learning from your experiences, both the good and the bad, and using those lessons to move forward. It's about recognizing that life's greatest rewards often come from the most challenging journeys. So take the time to reflect, to rest, to seek support, and to practice self-compassion. And most importantly, keep going. You are stronger than you realize, and your potential is limitless. The road ahead may not be easy, but it is filled with opportunities for growth, discovery, and joy. Embrace the journey and remember, every step you take is bringing you closer to the person you are meant to become. In this section, we will explore 15 useful American English words, phrases, and idioms taken from 2 inspirational speeches. These are expressions that you will often hear in everyday conversation, which will help you sound more natural and fluent when speaking English. Each phrase comes with its meaning and an example to make it easier for English learners to understand how to use it correctly. Let's dive into some real, everyday American English. Step back meaning to pause and take a break from a situation to gain perspective. Example, sometimes when things get overwhelming, it's best to step back and rethink your approach. Once again, step back meaning to pause and take a break from a situation to gain perspective. Example, sometimes when things get overwhelming, it's best to step back and rethink your approach. Catch your breath. Meaning, to take a short break after a period of intense activity to relax or recover. Example, after the long meeting, I just needed a moment to catch my breath before getting back to work. Once again, catch your breath. Meaning, to take a short break after a period of intense activity to relax or recover. Example, after the long meeting, I just needed a moment to catch my breath before getting back to work. Burn out. Meaning, to become very tired or exhausted, often from overworking or too much stress. Example, if you keep working like this without a break, you're going to burn out. Once again, burn out. Meaning, to become very tired or exhausted, often from overworking or too much stress. Example, if you keep working like this without a break, you're going to burn out. Push through. Meaning, to keep going despite difficulty or obstacles. Example, even though she was tired, she pushed through and finished the marathon. Once again, push through. Meaning, to keep going despite difficulty or obstacles. Example, even though she was tired, she pushed through and finished the marathon. On the verge, meaning very close to something happening, typically something significant. Example, he was on the verge of giving up, but his friends encouraged him to keep going. Once again, on the verge, meaning very close to something happening, typically something significant. Example, he was on the verge of giving up, but his friends encouraged him to keep going. Rise above meaning, to overcome a difficult situation or not let it affect you negatively. Example, even when people criticize her, she always rises above and stays focused on her goals. Once again, rise above meaning, to overcome a difficult situation or not let it affect you negatively. Example, even when people criticize her, she always rises above and stays focused on her goals. Face head-on, meaning, to confront a challenge or problem directly and with determination. Example, instead of avoiding the issue, she decided to face it head-on and find a solution. Once again, face head-on, meaning, to confront a challenge or problem directly and with determination. Example, instead of avoiding the issue, she decided to face it head-on and find a solution. Bounce back, meaning, to recover from a setback or difficult situation quickly. Example, after losing his job, it took him a while, but he eventually bounced back and found something better. Once again, bounce back, meaning, to recover from a setback or difficult situation quickly. Example, after losing his job, it took him a while, but he eventually bounced back and found something better. Out of your comfort zone, meaning, to do something that feels unfamiliar or challenging, beyond what is comfortable. Example, learning to speak in public took me out of my comfort zone, but it helped me grow. Once again, out of your comfort zone, meaning, to do something that feels unfamiliar or challenging, beyond what is comfortable. Example, learning to speak in public took me out of my comfort zone, but it helped me grow. Shy away from. Meaning, to avoid something because you are afraid or not confident. Example, he never shies away from difficult conversations, he faces them with courage. Once again, shy away from. Meaning, to avoid something because you are afraid or not confident. Example, he never shies away from difficult conversations, he faces them with courage. Lean into, meaning, to embrace or fully accept something, especially a challenge or discomfort. Example, instead of resisting change, try to lean into it and see where it takes you. Once again, lean into, meaning, to embrace or fully accept something, especially a challenge or discomfort. Example, instead of resisting change, try to lean into it and see where it takes you. Take a deep breath. Meaning, to pause and relax, often used to calm oneself in a stressful situation. Example, before the big presentation, I took a deep breath to calm my nerves. Once again, take a deep breath. Meaning, to pause and relax, often used to calm oneself in a stressful situation. Example, before the big presentation, I took a deep breath to calm my nerves. The odds are stacked against you. Meaning, a situation where everything seems to be working against your success. Example, the odds were stacked against her, but she still managed to achieve her dreams. Once again, the odds are stacked against you. Meaning, a situation where everything seems to be working against your success. Example, the odds were stacked against her, but she still managed to achieve her dreams. Break the mold. Meaning, to do something differently than it has been done before, to challenge traditions or expectations. Example, he broke the mold by starting a new kind of business that no one had ever tried before. Once again, break the mold. Meaning, to do something differently than it has been done before, to challenge traditions or expectations. Example, he broke the mold by starting a new kind of business that no one had ever tried before. Cut yourself some slack. Meaning, to be less critical or harsh on yourself, to allow yourself a break. Example, you've been working so hard lately, cut yourself some slack and take a day off. Once again, cut yourself some slack. Meaning, to be less critical or harsh on yourself, to allow yourself a break. Example, you've been working so hard lately, cut yourself some slack and take a day off. That brings us to the end of today's episode. We hope you feel inspired and ready to tackle whatever life throws your way. Remember, the journey to personal growth isn't always easy, but with every challenge comes an opportunity to grow stronger and become more resilient. If you found value in today's episode, don't hesitate to revisit the lessons from these two speeches whenever you need a reminder of your own strength. And as always, if you need to refer back, a PDF transcript of this episode is available for you to download from the show notes. Thank you for being a part of the Rise Up podcast, where we rise, learn, and grow together. Until next time, keep pushing forward, keep believing in yourself, and remember, you're stronger than you think.